and gentlemen, welcome back to Power Vacuum. I'm your host, Belmont, and this video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. This video was sent to me, or the video I'm about to watch was sent to me by a friend. It is a short film starring David Thornton, best known as Art the Clown in the Terrifier videos. This is a independent project called Joker's Wild. I've already watched it once. I have some opinions, but I'm going to go through and do a live opinion and breakdown on this video. It's about 13 minutes long, as you can see here. So this video might be a little on the long side, but let's get started. It's a Busted Knuckle production. Never heard of it. So obviously it's an independent venture. Starring David Howard Thornton. I suppose he probably prefers his real name. Written and directed by Aaron Bennett. Cinematography, Chris Bond. Chris Bond. Joel LeBlanc. Huh. Joker doing a little jig. Joker's wild with your. So this is what's referred to, or I refer to as serial killer text. It's when they make a ransom letter out of random letters from magazines. It used to be a trope in movies. I think it happened once in real life with was it Zodiac? I can't remember, but it became a pretty much a serial killer movie trope after that. So let's take a look at this set real quick. Get this weird little. It looks like a fish tank light on top of something. I don't know. That looks like pieces of a baby pram or carriage or whatever we call it. Ha ha ha! Spray painted on some plastic. Obviously, it's supposed to be like a rundown warehouse looking place. And this is supposed to be Robin. Now, dripping blood. And then, so this is very out of character. Why would Joker hook somebody up to an IV? I'm guessing to keep him hydrated while he's bleeding him out, maybe? I'm not sure. Utilities access. So the IV is going into his neck, but it's going up to his neck, which means that it would slow the drip. I don't know. I don't know what the point of the IV was. I think it was just like an aesthetic choice. I also don't get why he looked up at the light when it turned on. That indicates that the blindfold isn't working because he wouldn't be able to notice that. Especially you look at how bloody. So this is my first problem, and you're going to notice this when you watch this. I have never been a fan of the giant protruding chin Joker. Joker was he was never disfigured until I can't even remember the original artist. Jim Lee loves to draw him as a disfigured or like very angular, exaggerated face. He was always supposed to be just a guy that looked like a clown. He had white skin, he had a purple suit, he killed with Joker toxin. Those were his three defining characteristics for decades and decades. I think it's the encyclopedia, first official DC encyclopedia that list the three defining characteristics of Joker are in order. Number one, paper white skin. Number two, wears a purple suit. Number three, kills with Joker toxin, a lethal laughing gas. For the longest time, if Joker didn't have those three characteristics, the DC would say that it's not a true Joker or it's not canon to the lore because that's what they wanted the Joker to be. Now they've since expanded on that, and he's a homicidal maniac. He's mercurial. He's well, that's pretty much it. Homicidal maniac, mercurial. He's a genius, all that kind of stuff. But he was always a genius. They just every hero and villain in DC back in the day were all genius level or near genius characters. But this is a prosthetic, and it does not translate well in this video. Which I will say, I don't mind the voice. He's trying to do his own thing, and I appreciate that. I hate when characters or people try to emulate Mark Hamill, or they try to emulate somebody else's voice. Troy Baker did it because they wanted him to. It felt off the whole time in Batman Arkham Origins, but he did the best he could. I would have almost rather them just have a different voice, but that's just me. But
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sleepy. I've been trying so very hard to stay alive for you.
so the close-up shots really highlight how bad the prosthetics look. When you have like the giant Glasgow smile on his face or the exaggerated face, but the whole mouth doesn't move and just the center part does, it's just a mask, which gives me, and then you could tell it's just a mask, it's just a wig. It really takes away from the appeal of the character. Also, you'll see it better later on, but this outfit, atrocious.
I'm just so very tired now.
Rob! It's rude not to look at me when I'm talking to you. About you. With you.
A lot of jump cuts, and it makes me wonder if the jump cuts, there was some takes or different like ad libs he did where they just didn't like it.
You're so senseless. You seem stars. Hey, bud. Ooh, you're not looking so good. You see what I'm seeing, your totes my goats agree. But unfortunately, I don't have any mirrors for, obvious reasons. So,
Oh, the reveal.
again.
The eye looks so fake. It's almost like they didn't try to make it realistic. I'm not sure if they wanted it to be hyper violet but campy at the same time. I don't know what their intent was. I got the feeling they were trying to be realistic and gritty, but
I ain't got
just
nobody.
look at it. It just looks like a toy
Hey,
prosthetic.
bad boy.
There's no variation in the pupil iris area. It's just a solid black
We're
dot,
finally seeing
like a
eye to
comical eye.
eye.
And then he's gonna throw it here in a second or drop it.
Well, that was disappointing.
And it also appears that it still has the casing skin, like the eyelid area, still around it. I'm not an expert on eyes, especially removing human eyes. It just doesn't look
And more
genuine
than a
at
little
all.
sad.
And then it looks so bad. I have to think that it's on purpose. I hope it's on purpose because you can just tell this is super fake. What they really should have done if they wanted it to be realistic. Now it's been a while since I've done stagecraft and stuff, and I did years of television production and stuff, and I did a little bit of theater and stagecraft. Is you would take a water glycerin mixture and spray it, and it would make it look wet, and the glycerin would keep it with that wet sheen look. This just looks like a rubber toy.
You know, you and I have never really met until now. And, you know, I am just feeling incredibly close with you. You know, I feel like
Yeah,
I
the
can share a
prosthetics
little bit
bother
of
me
me
so much with how
you.
The mouth is over exaggerated, but it doesn't move at all. And I know you can't really do that.
Rude. Kids today, no respect, I tell you what.
I hate this outfit.
Nah. No. I need something to get the point across.
I don't like the twirling of the crowbar because that shows you that it's just a rubber prop. Because crowbars are heavy and they're not that easy to twirl. A crowbar weighs about 7 or 8 pounds, which, if you're a stronger person, yeah, you could twirl it, but
Medieval. Ooh. Ah. Now this. Ooh. Now this could be fun for later. Let's just keep that.
why would he just put an open knife in his pocket?
Yes. Nice, shiny, and to the point.
So, like, I would like to take a minute to talk to whoever did the costume design for this because what the hell is this? Why does Joker look like you're just regular, everyday 80s street tough, and now he's pulling out a switchblade, which is the stereotypical 80s street tough weapon of choice? Yeah, I almost expect him to have an overly permed mohawk as well, which is one of those things I always found funny in movies when they were putting these characters in that are gritty and grimy street kids, and then they've got this perfectly styled mohawk. Like, that's the only thing they care about is a perfectly they style their hair. Well, hold on. Let me go get some bear grease and some Stronghold hairspray. And I got to make sure I shampoo and wash the top of my head. So that's the only part of me that's clean. We're going to smear some dirt on like my face and neck area. And my clothes are going to be shabby and run down. And obviously, I haven't taken a bath in days, but my hair's real nice. This outfit, the outfit's like my third biggest qualm. My biggest problem with this is not it's not even the prosthetic. That's my second biggest problem. I'll get to my biggest problem later.
So, as I was saying.
Yeah, see, like, this kind of stuff doesn't bother me. I kind of like the psycho, homicidal Joker much more than the hapless, witless clown Joker.
You know
The Comic Code Authority really did a number on DC Comics, and it took them a long time to recover. And this is what I expected from the Joker. The Joker was just a genius homicidal maniac that, killed people with Joker toxin and did crazy stuff. I will talk about what I think this video should have been. God, I hate this outfit. It's like this was what he was wearing, and then they're like, just do my makeup, I'll wear what I want to wear. Because I can't see them going, hey, this is what the Joker would wear. Yeah, prosthetics back, just looks like a mask.
2 days. No light in the sky. Well, it looks like the Dark Knight of Vengeance isn't coming for you, Rob. And that's gotta sting. But maybe, being pals with someone who is so into revenge wasn't a good call.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's nailing the voice pretty well. He's doing a good job.
Shall we?
It does seem like he's doing a little bit of the Mark Hamill tone. I also don't get this.
Hold still, because I need to loosen up that little tongue of yours.
It's like the violence doesn't bother me. I should say it's more of who he's doing it to. Because there's also a certain point I feel stabbed in the arm, eye cut out, tongue cut off. At one point, you're going to black out from probably shock. Now I get it. Jason Todd's supposed to be a stronger character than most people,
Got your
stronger, resilient, and more will. But I think there's only so much blood loss anybody can take before they
Now tell me who
lose
you and
conscious.
Batsy really are. Because I may not be a doctor, clearly, but I do make house calls.
This was a good little bit of writing.
Damn it!
This is one of those like
Secret
impulse
first,
things.
tongue after.
Yeah.
How so stupid.
That's the kind of like violence that the Joker would commit, you know, losing impulse control, making a rash decision, and then realizing afterwards, wait a minute, this is counterproductive to what I wanted. That's kind of his own folly. That's what Joker's main problem has always been, is his rashness and his eagerness to get things done are what really bite him in the ass.
I'm a homie like that.
I'm a homie like that. Oh man.
Real talk.
See, some of this dialogue's great. Some of it's really painful. I'm a homie, and then, oh, I really know who you are. Ha ha ha. I've always been with the idea that the Joker feels that Batman is his real face. The person he is when he's not in the suit is the mask, is the character. Joker knows that, just as Joker knows that if he's ever being who he really was before he became the Joker, that would be the character. He is the Joker. Batman is Batman. And he would
Hey,
probably
Rob.
assume that
I
Robin
got a
is
little joke for
Robin.
you.
They're
I think
not the
it'll
people
cheer
that
you
they're
up a little
pretending to
bit.
be outside of their
Kind of bar
night jobs.
is Robin's least favorite. Wait for it. Ready? A crowbar!
So these jokes don't really make a lot of sense either because it's like self-aware humor.
You'll get it one day.
That's obviously written for the fans,
Oh,
or
poor Yorick. I didn't really know him too well.
so I'm talking about with the eye. The eye looks so fake that it just looks like a cheap movie prop.
Ooh. Ooh, looks like some of that vengeance everybody's talking about finally decided to come by and say hi.
I feel like this would be so much more impactful if it were light prosthetics instead of a full-on mask. If you were wearing an actual
It's over.
purple suit.
Now, Batsy, rein it in. For Robin's sake. Not in front of the child now. You see, a little bird wouldn't spill his guts. So, it looks like it's up to me to do the heavy lifting. Oh, yikes! That looks serious.
Yeah, outfit's bad. I also don't know if Batman wouldn't chase the Joker down and try to catch him here. I feel like he would, especially after watching this. Because the whole point of Jason Todd's dying, when Jason Todd died, the entire point of it was that he wasn't there for it. He found him in the aftermath. And this is him witnessing the death. It's a lot different. Like, you see him like kill him, he would definitely chase the Joker down, capture him, because then he knows it's already too late. Where when he was trying to find, he couldn't find him in the original story where Jason Todd is killed. He just, the warehouse explodes and he finds him in the blown up warehouse. My biggest problem with this is the Jason Todd story was already done and done so well that I don't feel they needed to do their own version of it, especially not with this weird 80s aesthetic of but this should have been probably a snippet from Tales of the Dark Knight where he kidnaps politicians and or high-ranking police or military officials. And what he's doing in that story, in one of the stories of Tales of the Dark Knight, he's cutting their faces off and mailing them to his next victim. So he'll kidnap whoever the chief of police was at the time, cut their face off, and mail it to a politician who will be his next target. And I felt this was a perfect opportunity to encapsulate that story. It's very likely they don't know that story because it's not one of the more well-known stories from the Batman universe. It's not. There might be a comic adaptation, but it was a novelization of Batman called Tales of the Dark Knight, and it's just filled with these gritty, dark, and violent stories. Like the Joker stories, like I said, capturing people, cutting their faces off. And what he's saying is they kind of took a little bit of it from The Dark Knight with Christopher Nolan, where Joker's like, I'll kill someone every night until Batman takes off his mask. The premise is that Joker is going to remove people's mask until Batman removes his in the story. And then I think at the end of that story is ultimately when he realizes that Batman is who he is. And anyone under the mask, if he takes it off, that's the imposter. That's the fake. But yeah, the whole joke of that story is that he's removing people's faces, calling it a mask when it's not a mask. It's their face. Um, but yeah, my main number one problem with this is the fact that they're trying to readapt the Jason Todd story when they could have done it with another Robin. They could have done it with Tim Drake. They could have done it with, well, they wouldn't do it with Stephanie. Almost certainly they wouldn't have it done to a woman. Although it would probably be much more like you know tugging at the heartstrings, more gut wrenching, more impactful had they done it with a woman character instead. They could have made it the original Robin, Dick. It's an original story with original costumes and designs. It didn't have to be the Jason Todd story. That's my biggest problem right there. Number two, as I said many times, the prosthetic on his face, the mask, it's not even a prosthetic. It's just a mask. Had they done like prosthetics with like they put a chin on, they put some cheeks on, exaggerated eyebrows, it would have been more emotive. And we know this guy can be emotive because if you've ever watched Terrifier, any of them, when he's playing Art the Clown, he's a speechless character. Everything he does is emotive, and it's very, very well done. Like he's a very good actor. I was impressed with his portrayal as far as vocally, attitude, the motion of the character was very Joker-esque. But the mask just really takes me out of it. The whole time, every time I see him talking, I'm like, "Ugh, no." When he's just still and smiling, that's what the mask was made for. Like those effectively still shots, not animation or not live video, I should say. Not animation's the wrong thing. But the outfits, the other thing, when Joker's wearing just like a leather jacket, Joker or Robin also just wearing a leather jacket. Although I do think he's wearing a leather jacket in when he dies in the animated movie Under the Red Hood. I do not think he's wearing it in the comic books. I think he's just in the classic Robin outfit with the pants instead of the little short shorts or the bikini bottoms basically. Because when Jason Todd came around, they gave him pants. Like Robin got like red Kevlar pants and whatnot. But you didn't need to adapt the story. You should have done prosthetics instead of a mask, and they should have kept Joker in his original outfit. Just straight up, even if it was a raggedy, worn out, tattered purple suit because he's been on the run, anything purple related, purple suit related would have been better than that. What I keep calling that 80s street tough because it just looks bad, looks generic. It doesn't look creative or thought out. They just walked into a thrift store and went, Give me some faded jeans, a spike belt, and a leather jacket so we could put some spikes on it and some spray paint. Cheap, I don't know, was it a t-shirt? Was it a button down? It's a cheap worn out button down. Where'd it go? Okay, it's a button down with just like, so it's basically a generic office wear and a cheap leather jacket and horrible jeans. And I just think it's bad looking. I think it's not conductive of the character. This Joker would not pass the uh, three principles of the Joker, not the principles, the three defining characteristics of who he is. We could say he does have white skin because they made his like hands and wrist white along with his face and his neck. He doesn't have a purple suit. He doesn't have Joker toxin that we know of. But well, we can say maybe he does because he doesn't kill Robin with Joker toxin because he wants it to be more personal. But it's the suit, the aesthetics, the suit, the story. Those are the things I like. Other than that, the violence, that's perfectly fine. That's what I want from Joker. I want him to be a psychopath who's willing to commit grievous acts of violence. I want him to be kind of sing-songy and happy-go-lucky when he's doing this stuff. But it seems like they didn't get the mercurial attitude. He had the same kind of violent prankster attitude the whole time, where the Joker is very mercurial, and what that means is he goes from being happy to angry very quickly. He goes from liking something to hating it very quickly and without warning. That's mercurial by nature. So the Joker would be like, "Yes, I'm gonna carve you up with this knife," and right when he goes to do it, he's like, "You know what? No, no, no. The knife's a bad idea. The crowbar is where it's at." That's like what I expect. Him to get laughy and then to get serious. And he was getting serious in the beginning. It There's that one moment where he's yelling at him while he's yelling. That's a little bit of it, but then he doesn't like maintain that kind of angry nature. He doesn't flip flop. Again, he's only going by what he's directed to do. But it's a very interesting story. We'll roll the credits for anyone so they can like see it and get, if they want to look at it, I'll put a link for this in the description. So if anybody wants to watch it on their own and not with me constantly pausing and talking about it, it's not a bad video. It's just I have my own problems as a hardcore fan. And I mean hardcore. I have been, who was Batman? Hunter G. Williams? Oh, okay, that's who the other guy. And Joel LeBlanc was Robin. Yeah, I don't recognize them. They might be like side rate actors, or they might be people. Oh, well, here you go. Producer Hunter G. Williams. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna be Batman. I'm producing it. I'm Batman. And then the director was the other producer, and then associate producers. Yeah, it's a good project. I have my gripes, but again, I am a hardcore fan, and as I was trying to say before I interrupted myself, I've been a hardcore fan since I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. Batman '89 came out, so I would have been right around 6 or 7. I don't know exactly when it came out in the year. I was again a child. I know it came out before Halloween because that Halloween I was the Joker because I we went and I watched it in theaters, completely blown away by Jack Nicholson's performance, and I was instantly in love with the character of the Joker and the character of Batman. I have always viewed them as the yin and yang of DC. They're the two sides of the same coin, if you will. They're both extremely extreme personalities. One is all for order and justice, and the other is all for crime and chaos. And that's what you get. You get one with the other. I mean, Joker has been Batman. He's not his oldest villain, but he's his oldest main villain. He was there in the first Batman comic, right? Batman #1. I think technically Dr. Hugo Strange and Catwoman are Batman's oldest villains, although Catwoman has been more of a anti-villain or anti-hero or anti-villain. You know, you can be why does it always have to be a hero? Whoa, I believe the proper term is protagonist and antagonist, to quote Venture Brothers. But he's always been there. Hugo Strange is absolutely the first real villain that Batman has dealt with. He was there in Detective Comics. Catwoman appeared in Detective Comics before Batman #1. Well, I might have to research that one. I know Hugo Strange did. I don't know if Catwoman appeared after Batman issue 1 had already released and it was just in the Detective Comics run. I know her first appearance is in Detective Comics, just like Poison Ivy's first appearance is in Detective Comics, not in the Batman title. There's a lot like that. But, you know, Joker, Batman, I've always loved them. I was Joker, as I said, for Halloween, the year it came out. So Batman 89. So Halloween of 1989, I show up to a costume contest and it was the under 10 category. There were about 250 contestants. I got first place because my mother hand sewed my Joker suit, the purple suit, the hat. She did crazy seamstress. She put Martha Stewart to shame, but she hand sewed my entire outfit. And we show up to the costume contest. Like I said, there's about 250 kids. Probably about 75 of them are Batman. There's like 75, you know, various store-bought Batman costumes, homemade Batman costumes. I was the only Joker. And I just remember as a kid looking around going, "Pff," and they called me a clown. I was a smartass as a kid too. Like, look at all these Batman. They called me a clown. I think that mostly came with the fact that I only had one friend my age, and all the other kids on my block were about 5 to 6 years older than me. So I was dealing with, you know, their sense of humor and their attitudes and personalities. Which is why I think I was such a I'm still a smart ass. I think that's why I was mostly a smart ass. That and my mom is pretty much a smart ass too. She kind of sculpted my personality with that. But I'm rambling. This was supposed to be about this video Joker's Wild. Came out earlier this year. When was it uploaded? Do we have an exact date? 1 month ago. So early February. See, they made a whole channel just for this. Nice. I like that. I like that kind of dedication. I was hoping we get an exact date. Okay, well, they joined on January 5th, 2025. So it's probably safe to say that it was uploaded on January 5th, 2025. Would it be in the description? Videos. January 24th. Okay. So there we go. So it's a little over a month old. Um, and it's fantastic. It's a fantastic production. We'll have to see if this isn't my main YouTube channel, so I'm not going to subscribe. I will go and subscribe through my main channel. This is just like guest YouTube. I don't think I'm logged. Oh, I am logged in. Oh, never mind. Um, so click. So, oof, no, no, not that one. But yeah, that's it. That's my take on it. That's my stance. Check it out. As I said, I will put the link for this in the video description if anybody wants to watch it for themselves. But this is your host, Belmont, signing out.